In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to shrink Arduino projects. This is the Arduino Nano, which is my favorite Arduino. Now, it's quite small, but sometimes it can be too big for projects. So, I'm going to be showing you how to use the ATtiny85 chip, which can be used as a microcontroller with the Arduino IDE. And we can use that instead of other Arduinos to make projects. Here, I have a simple thermometer circuit that I've made with the ATtiny85 chip. And if we power it up, we can see it works like any other Arduino is. Here I'm showing the temperature. Now, of course, one downside with using this is there's much fewer I/O pins, which in this circuit I'm overcoming with these shift registers. I have 3 of them here to power the display. Now, in order to program this, we are going to need to use an Arduino as the programmer, as it obviously doesn't have a USB port. So here I have an Arduino Nano connected up to power and ground on this breadboard. And if we take the ATtiny85, we can hook it up to that. So first we're going to need to connect power and ground. So if we take pin 8 on the ATtiny, we can connect it up to power. And we can take pin 4 down here and connect it up to ground. Next, we're going to connect pin 7 on the ATtiny to pin D13 on the Nano. We're going to take pin 6 on the ATtiny and connect it to pin D12 on the Arduino Nano. We're going to take pin 5 and connect it to D11. And finally, we'll take pin 1 down here and connect it to D10. So now that we have this all hooked up, we can go program it with the Arduino IDE. To program our ATtiny chip, we need to use the Arduino as a programmer. So we'll go to Examples, Arduino ISP, and choose the Arduino ISP sketch. And then we can just upload this to our Arduino. In this case, I'm using an Arduino Nano. And then once it's finished uploading, our Arduino will act as a programmer for the ATtiny chip. Next, we need to get the ATtiny board on our Arduino IDE. So we'll copy this link in, and this link will be down in the description. Then we can go into the board manager under board and tools. And from there, if we just search for ATtiny, we'll be able to find our board to install. Once this board is installed, we can pick it in the board menu. And we'll need to make sure to choose the ATtiny85, which is what we're using. And then make sure you have it on the right port for your device, and make sure you have the programmer set to Arduino as ISP, as that's what we're using. And here I have a simple blink sketch that we can just upload to the ATtiny. And once this is done uploading, our programming is complete. Okay, so now that we've programmed our ATtiny chip, we can build a simple blink circuit with it. So if we take out this chip and put it on another breadboard, we can get to building the circuit. First, I'm going to connect up power and ground across the board. And now we can connect up power and ground on this chip. So power goes there, ground can go down here. Now this chip is set up kind of weird. As you heard me say earlier, this pin here is pin 7 on this chip, but it's actually IO pin 2, which is the pin we set up for the LED on the blink circuit. So we'll connect up the LED there. And then we have this 1K resistor that we can connect from the other side of the LED to ground. Okay, so now we have this circuit complete, and now if we hook up power, you can see that we've got our blink circuit running. So you can use this ATtiny chip to do a range of other Arduino projects, anything you would do on another Arduino, but with a much smaller form factor.